This is the Hadesian Temple. This little mini dungeon was based off of the question, what would it be like if Star Citizen had a dungeon? Well, I wanted to base it around the Hades solar system, which is a solar system in Star Citizen that basically there used to be a civilization that lived there. They all of a sudden died out. It was a spacefaring civilization at that. We got to see one of the little artifacts back at CitizenCon last year, and you saw that it was this very ornate, kind of ancient-looking piece, but you could see circuitry kind of interwoven into it. So it's like tech and ancient artifact squeezed into one. So when building this place, I really wanted to make it look like an ancient structure, as well as have this underlying tech to it as well. So right off the bat, when we coming through here, we meet up with this nice laser wall that if we try to walk through it, I'll be able to walk through because I have it turned off right now, but it, as you can see in the top left-hand corner, it would kill the player. So the player's going to have to find another way around. And what they can do is they can come down through here, following these little fireflies, end up in this room that kind of hums with energy. Seems like a room that maybe they were doing something with power in here. Anyways, we see the artifact that I was talking about earlier, the hologram of it anyways, and so since we brought that with us, place it on here. Looks like the power is going on and off now. So it makes you wonder, power is going on and off here, is it doing it over there at the laser wall? Back of the laser wall, see that, yeah, the power is turning on and off, making it so that we can kind of traverse this if this laser would ever turn off. There we go. Oop, almost got hit by this one. Go, go, go. Oh, I got hit by the last one, but shh, don't tell anybody. Now, we walk in here and step on that because I'm kind of used to it. We do notice that this little step here turns on and off that laser over there. Why do we need that? Well, because, again, we need our little key artifact. So we got our friend to come in and he's going to grab the artifact for us, and he's going to bring it down this hallway instead of the original one. Again, kind of following the fireflies. Met with the laser wall. Now us, on the other side, we can turn that off for him, which I'm just going to walk through it because I am the only player here. And then we can progress over here, place down our key, but key disappeared, making it to where if a player wants to come back in here and hit this place again, they're going to need another key. Or if we fail and all that, well, we got to get another key to try again. Now we come to our boss arena now. We're met by this giant mech robot guy. As soon as we try to approach him, the door slammed behind us. He starts to boot up. And while he's booting up, he starts firing off his lasers like crazy because his targeting is not quite met. Once his targeting does get booted up, he'll start looking for us, like who woke me up, and like whole fee-fi-fo bum type thing. And once he does see us, he'll fire off lasers, which will drain off his power a little bit. And if he doesn't see us for a good amount of time, he's going to just throw grenades randomly in different areas to try to find where we are and flush us out. Now, the whole job for us, though, as the player, we want to let him see us. because if he does fire off his lasers, and the more often he fires them off, he'll drain his power. One thing I forgot to mention, he doesn't really take damage from our weapons at all. Got a force field, or he's made of something that's just too strong for our weapons to affect him. So our other choice is drain his power. Well, let's say we did drain his power down to a critical level, and he needs to get some power back, so he runs back over to his little charging platform, and you'll see him raise his hand up and pull down the force fields on these lanterns here. Well, these lanterns are able to supply him with power. Depending on how long it takes for the player to figure that out, he'll get a certain amount of charge. Now, let's say he gets a lot of charge. Well, now he's got power to spare. He's going to just open up and start throwing volleys of lasers, his plasma grenades, everything he's got at the players to try to take them out as quick as possible. Once he gets down to a medium state of power, he's going to then switch into like oh crap mode, where he's trying to conserve power and find the player. Finds him, then he'll fire off his lasers, depleting his power even further. Players can even coax him and try and take shots at him to try to get him to come over here and fire at me, and then another player on the other side can kite him as well and try and pull him back over there. Now, once he gets down to a certain level again, he's going to come back over here and try and charge. Well, now players probably figured it out. They're going to be able to kill the next lantern as soon as he drops that force field, right? So since he got such a low charge from it and he's desperate for power, he's going to drop the next two force fields at the same time and draw power from two lanterns at the same time. This will, depending on how much power he gets back, will put him into another state of a frenzy, or maybe he doesn't get enough back, so he automatically just starts searching for the player. But long story short, the player needs to drain his power, and once he gets down to that final critical state and there's no more lanterns to resupply him with power, he'll come back to his pad and he'll shut himself off, kind of like a precaution to try and conserve his remaining power. Once he does that, this gate will open, and the players can continue on through the little mini dungeon. And going through here, I do want to point out, I wanted this place to look like Roots and everything had pushed the ground up and allowed for you to reverse through this path. Find this nice broken window. And in this room, we're met with 4 different colored lasers. We look around. There's a room full of treasure. That's for the treasure. And then we have this little room that looks like some kind of science was going on behind there. This was me trying to play with messages on the screen, on the glass. But yeah. We also see our little firefly friends just hanging out around this button. And you know us, we're humans, we gotta press the big red button, right? Can't be that bad, it's surrounded by green buttons. Alright, so right off the bat, we got red firing off, we got then a green firing off. So this kind of seems like that game Simon, right? Now the fireflies are over by the statue, meaning listening. Well, I wasn't paying attention. And honestly, I don't really remember which one's fired off first. But I do want to show you what would happen if we got the wrong... Oh, I guess I got the right one. If we got the wrong thing, we're going to have the ceiling start to lower on us. So then, if the player really wants that treasure that's in that room, they don't mess up again, because that ceiling does look like it wants to squish us. Button again. Hello. Yellow. Red. Okay. Yellow. Yellow. dragonflies are back over here. I guess they want us to word again. So we got green, red, blue, red. Was it green, red, blue, red? Yellow. Green, red, blue, red, yellow. I remember that. But yay, we win. We get in here. We grab us some treasure. But do you notice that nice squeakiness of that? I don't know what that's called, but the gate slowly lowering down behind us like a ticking clock almost. I've turned it off for this, mainly so I'd have enough time to explain this. I guess I could have made it just have a really long time. It's coming down, but basically the reason I wanted to do that, why there would be a time limit, is I wanted to kind of play into the greed of the player, and as well as Star Citizen has this persistence mechanic in it. I don't know if it's actually in yet, but it's something that they've teased in the past and talked about. Chris Roberts went as far as saying that you'd be able to place a coffee cup, I think is what he said, on a random planet, and if you knew exactly where it was, you come back 2 years later, that coffee cup, as long as it wasn't disturbed by anybody else, would still be there. So that kind of gave me a really cool idea. What if, depending on how greedy the players were, if they got trapped in here, they'd become a part of the treasure, right? So other people, especially if this was like a time-limited event, those other people come here, explore it, they get through the whole dungeon, and here they are finding this room full of treasure, also full of these spacesuits of past explorers that tried to get in here and get it themselves. I think that would really lend to some immersion. Not 100% sure on how you would do that without it getting too full of just random bodies. I guess you'd have to have a decay time or something. But I thought that would be really neat. So that is the Hadesian Temple, and I did want the player to have to go all the way back out to the front because, again, in Star Citizen, no teleporting, no anything like that. So we would need the player to go all the way back out to the front. But this video is already getting really long, so I would be placing small versions of those robots back in that boss arena that would kind of attack the player as they're trying to leave. Other than that, that's pretty much the rest of the dungeon. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe. This was my very first YouTube video ever, so give me some constructive criticism in the bottom or the comments. And if you're wanting to know how I did anything in this, whether it be the little Simon puzzle here or the laser walls or just design stuff, please ask in the comments below. I will get back to you guys.